All right, I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Welcome to a special Sunday afternoon session where I'm jumping back on. It's a makeup session to complete all the readings that I did not complete in the morning session. There'll be a list of all the readings in the description box of the video. And then also when I'm done with the stream, as I do with all my streams, I will put a pinned comment listing the readings that were completed with the timestamps. All you have to do is find your name, click on that little link, and it'll take you right to the video, in the video where your reading is. So cool, cool, cool. You notice there's no chat in this session, so I'm not taking any new requests in this session, but it's just completing the others right now. Sorry, our little black lab is barking at some squirrels out front, I think. Easily distracted today, sorry. But they I forget where I was at, but I have a pinned comment, and I'll be back next Friday for more readings on Friday and Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, and then also on Saturday and Sunday afternoons at 11 a.m. Also, if you're interested, we do get together on Thursday nights for my members. I have 2 levels: Zen Cricket at $2.99 a month, Praying Mantis at $7.99 a month, and we have 2, 3, sometimes 4-hour session on that night. Unlimited tarot readings. We do oracle readings, past life readings. So there's a link down below for all that. Also, I offer personal readings. There's a link down in the description box for that. And if you haven't got into my weekly drawing yet for the month of June, the first video linked in the description box will tell you how you can do that too. So blah, 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 yada, yada. But we'll get into all the readings here. I am going to switch up, and I'm going to use this tarot deck, huge box, beautiful star tarot. So I felt like switching it up. You know, when I do readings for hours and hours with certain decks, even I need a little bit of change and excitement. But it's a beautiful deck. It's one of my faves. So I hope you guys enjoy it too. All right. All righty. So let me get my little notes here. So I'll be keeping track of all the timestamps as we go along. So we'll start off here with SUDESHNA GHOSH. Hello, hello. I did get your last one. I don't know if you got my comment. I replied to your comment. I did get your last as well, your last donation. So we will get into that one as well eventually down here. But I will put out all of your timestamps as we go along. So let's bring up this would have been your second one. We got to 1 in the first session, but what do you have, like 3, 4? You have 5 more in this session. I'm so grateful. So thank you for all these. All right. So thank you for this donation. This one is that, okay, so you're very good friends. You like him. So does he have anyone, a love interest in his life except you? All right, let's take a look here. Anyone else in his life? Okay. Right, that'll answer that. You also had, is he still stuck in his past or moved on from his past love? Okay. All right. We'll take a look here and see what we have there. So, does he have anybody right now? Let's see what we have here. No, it doesn't feel like here. We've got the 9 of Wands and the 5 of Wands. The 9 of Wands is like a barrier that's keeping him away. And the 5 of Wands, more transformational energy. 5 being the number of change and transformation and drama. Feel like whatever had happened before, we'll see here about stuck in the past or whatever. I feel like whatever happened before kind of has them like in recovery where they feel like I'm just not ready for something new to come in, something new to, hit that my emotional relationship area of my life. It kind of feels like that they're just taking their time with that. It does feel here, the bottom of the deck, I was wondering when they were going to have me mention it. The 10 of Swords is an energy of a lot of expectations, a lot of disappointment, a lot of feeling like they were a disappointment to this past relationship as well. So I don't feel like they've got, you know, anyone that they're dating right now. Um, so are they stuck in the past or have they moved on? We got the King of Pentacles. It's a very grounded energy, along with the Two of Cups. That is the relationship card. Let's see what this is here. And the Two of Swords. So the Two of Cups is also emotional choice, and the Two of Swords coming in is also an about choice and decision making. I do feel like they made the choice to move on from this, especially with this other energy that's there. Um, and I do feel here. Now, one thing to remember is like it's like our heart is like a giant hotel. It has all these rooms in it, and we have emotional memories that are stored within our heart. And when we have a relationship where we love somebody, we will always have feelings for them our entire lives. And they'll be put in a little hotel room and locked in. They don't have free access like a little key card that they can go in and out. They're put in that hotel room, and when they close it, only if I want to go visit an emotion, I can go in and visit it, but it can't get out on its own. Um, so there's always emotion that's there. We always have a place in our heart. Doesn't mean that we're going to act on it. And then in this hotel, in the the auditorium or the whatever the little atrium in the middle, there's a nice little table for two. That's a romantic table that we. That's where our current romantic relationship would be. For me, for them, I feel like it's empty. It's not reserved. They don't have a reserve sign. Anything. It's like it's open, no one is sitting in it. It's not reserved for anyone. So I don't feel like there's anything that's going on there. I feel like they made that choice. That's why this grounded feeling. I've made the choice to move on. I don't. The King of Pentacles, Earth, grounded, solid energy, the ruler over the worth and self worth. I don't feel like they have any um, desire or strong connection to want to return there or be there, right? Um, so let's see what your fortune cookie is for that one. I don't feel like there's any more that we need to know around that. It's like, no, none at all. They are not there. Yeah. I love this. So this one I'm taking from the Everyday Miracles from the Course of Miracles. Today belongs to love. Let me not fear. And then it says, if you know who, capital W, who walks beside you on the way that you have chosen, fear would be impossible. And that basically is saying creator, and we have the spiritual posse that's walking with us. We would never need to be afraid when we realize how supported we are, right? So I love that for you. That's for your first one there. And we have two more before we'll be bouncing back around a little more here as well. Let me bring your other two up here for this one. So thank you for your second donation and something about your next love offer. All right, let's take a look here. Tell us about the next love offer. What can we know here right now? I do want these two. Want that one. Don't want those. Do want that one, and I do want this one. Okay. Oh, I like it. I like it. So the bottom of the deck, we start off with the Sun card. Bright light energy, very bright, a lot of fire, a lot of passion. Ace of Wands underneath that. So it is someone new, not someone you know now. The Ace of Wands is the aces is the first, the beginning. Um, so I like that they're clarifying that your next love offer seems to be very passionate, and it's someone you don't know right now. Doesn't mean you're going to take them up on this offer, though, right? Your next love offer. You're like, I say,
no, 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 1,000 times no.
Maybe that's what you say. We'll find out here. It cracks me up. I love that button. All right. So we've got here the Queen of Cups. They are attracted to your nurturing side, energy there, and very much a lot of sensuality and a lot of that passionate, energetic attraction, physical attraction towards you. Yeah, you got well, the Queen of Cups, sorry, is she's very emotional, right? You got, but here's the Queen, the Empress, which is like the Queen of Pentacles, which is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So that is the sensuality I was talking about. But they're also attracted to the deep amount of emotion that you're able to that exudes from you here. Underneath all of that, we do have the Knight of Swords. And let's see what else do we have here. The Five of Cups, the transformation of emotion, and the Six of Cups. This one does feel a bit, the clarity that comes in with this next love offer that comes towards you, you do realize, and it begins to dawn on you, one of the reasons why they love the nurturing side of you and this huge emotional side of you is with that Five and Six of Cups, they got a lot of childhood, lower vibrational energies that they're trying to transform, and they really have been, seeking to have that nurturingness that they didn't have when they were younger. And they're just like really, really drawn to it. And not like you're replacing their mother and, mommy issues or whatever, but could be there. But they just felt very empty. And you have a lot of love that you give. And they're just like, wow, I love that. And it's like, yeah, but and they have a lot of fire, a lot of passion, as well. So they're drawn to the emotion. We'll take a look here and see if they have emotion to give. It's like, yeah, who wouldn't want to receive all this emotion you're able to give? But can I reciprocate? I'm feeling like they reciprocate more, especially with the Sun card, through passion. Like, I express my emotion through passion and attraction and touch and sensuality and all that. But you're like, "But I want love. I want to feel these emotions, not just this, you know, energy," right? Hmm. Although you're like, "Maybe you do. I'm not judging." There's times in my life where it's like, "I don't want connection, but I'll take that," you know? We're human. I'm just saying. No judgment at all. If that's your choice. But I feel like that emotionally it's not there, mainly that. We have the Hierophant energy also coming in next to the Four Pentacles, the Four of Coins. And it does feel like here a lot of clarity around worth and where you're defining your worth from. We talk about the Four Pentacles quite a bit, where it's like when we're looking for our worth, we're told look into relationships, look into situations like jobs and education and social status, and look at things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions. That's what defines us, but it doesn't. All those things are unstable. When we define ourselves by those things, we feel unstable, and we get tired of that after a while until we turn inward and upward. And that's where the clarity of the Hierophant comes in. Like, oh, my worth comes from in here. I am priceless. I'm defined by the eternal, unconditional love of Creator, which they see me as perfect and priceless. Outside world is retail price. That's where we end up on the clearance rack. And I feel like this is where a lot of clarity comes through this love offer, where you're like, maybe not, right? No, no, no. Let's see here. Yeah, Three of Wands. I feel like you end up going a different direction with this information, with this clarity. You're realizing maybe this isn't for me. Three of Pentacles is about you being true to your authentic self. And it's the friend zone too. So I feel like this love offer that comes in, it's someone new, and you're like, yeah, even on the bottom of the deck, underneath the other card, you have the Hermit. I think I'm going to choose to be by myself rather than go through all that. But I tell you what, we can be friends. You send him to the friend zone, Sudeshna. uh, you can't be more than that, but you can be my friend. And they're like, no. I don't think they would choose that. I think that they're like, don't believe they can be friends because they're so passionate that they're like, I can't be friends with people of the opposite sex without wanting to have sex with them. You're like, well, it was nice meeting you. Bye. All right, let's see what else we have here. You got the magic trick coming in here. Good reflection. The rabbit in the hat, seeing the rabbit in the hat. So it's relationships are always good. I feel like this is a good stepping stone for you. I don't feel like this next love offer is going to be it, the one, or anything like that. But you do learn, like when this comes forward and you kind of conversate and interact, that yeah, this isn't for me. It says, I believe in magic. I see evidence of it all over the place, all the time. And though the tricks can probably be explained away by something sensible and ordinary, I'd rather not ruin the fun. Other people can fill their days with mere coincidence. I'll fill mine with, holy crap, that's unbelievable. So, not settling is what this is talking about. And so I agree with that analysis. All right, so that's what they have for number 2 for you there. So thank you again for that, and for your number 3 here coming up. And then, like I said, we'll circle back around for number 4 and number 5 here in between. The timestamps will all be together under one name eventually when I post that. All right. And so, thank you for your additional donation. A little sticker with the unicorn, rainbow unicorn. So, why did he come into your life? Why did you meet him in this lifetime? And why did you cross paths? All right. So this is for T. Okay. So why did he come into your life? It's the big picture reason, right? Okay. There we go. And then why this lifetime? Okay. Anything else for this lifetime? Okay. Okay. And then why did you cross paths? Just more clarity on that. Anything else? Okay. All right. The paths crossing here. All right. So let me take a quick sip here. So the bottom of the deck, we have Ace of Cups. This is a good understanding just about everyone for all relationships. Well, I even got the Ace of Pentacles underneath, which is great. Creating opportunities for the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is our self-love. This is us. We are the chalice. In our adventures of humans, we come down here to understand the contrast, to experience things, to understand who we really are. We're a giant, perfect mountain. We come down as little human beings in different expressions and different galaxies and dimensions and universes and everything to wander around this perfect mountain of who we are to understand ourselves more. Well, the Ace of Cups, as a human, we come down here so hungry for the unconditional love of the higher realms. And the journey of the big part of our journey as humans is the quest for the Ace of Cups, the chalice, the holy grail, to find our self-love and understand and be able to connect with that higher love that we are while experiencing the imitation love, the conditional love of this world. Because when we are made of unconditional love, we don't know that till we experience the opposite, right? It's like when I experience sadness, I understand happiness more. I understand and experience conditional love. I understand unconditional love more. So the reason why we have any relationship is to experience what love is on a different, it's like a giant temperature thermometer, right? Lower vibration, higher vibration. We don't know what heat is until we experience cold. We don't know what cold is until we experience heat. And then we're like, "Oh, this is what that is." So we get all relationships are about showing us a different expression of love so we understand more about ourselves. Every relationship is a mirror and a reflection of our self-love that we're experiencing as our human character in this lifetime, right? So that's the reason why we all meet different people, right? So that's good to know. So we'll look at here, why did he come into your life? Let's take a look. So you've got the judgment card. So here is your higher self wanting to show you um, clarity around who you really are, right? And the justice card. Again, it's like the ace of swords. Oops, I didn't mean to flip you off. The ace of swords here allows us to balance the scales, and we again experience with other people. If we were just off on a desert island by ourselves, we wouldn't have a whole lot of challenges challenging us because we would have these mirrors reflecting back to us going, "Oh, this is how I feel about myself." And we learn that by how people treat us, how we react, and, I usually say, like, "Oh, my relationships were all these teachers showing me what I wanted to see about myself until I saw it." Let's see if they'll tell us here, like, what are some of the truths they wanted you to see about yourself? Well, 6 of Cups, we have a lot of other lifetime energy coming in here too. The 6 of Cups, it is a fated friendship, relationship, that was designed to come into your life here. Um, and there's many lifetimes. They're part of a soul kinda group, a soul collective that you experience a lot of things together, you and them and other souls, and you guys really like hanging out together and expressing, going through adventures together, so it's your little soul collective, um, your little clique of souls in a way. But that you do have this, a lot of different, lifetimes that you guys have spent together. Yep, and the Tower card coming in here too. They are part of what they teach you here is that people in situations and things, it always happens for you that things that are removed out of your life are to make space for things that are more in alignment with your higher self and your path and to clear things out of your path so that you go that direction. And this is I feel like they're here to teach you that things happen for you, not to you, is a big piece of this balancing. Instead of us going into a victim role of why is this happening to me and this person did this or didn't do this or said this or didn't say that, and it's like, okay, realizing, oh, this is for me to help me help me face things. And so part of it is them being friends and not moving forward in a fast manner is for you to teach, yourself to go, I am going to not be afraid of things, knowing that whatever unfolds is for me. And so, like, one of the things, wasn't it? This is the guy that you're going to the birthday or thinking going to the birthday party to, right? Where it's like, well, I want to share with them how important they are. Do it because their response is going to be for you in either way. And I feel like there's so many things they help you overcome fears and let fears go. I like that. Why this lifetime? Let's take a look here. 3 of Cups. Yep. So part of a soul collective. The 3 of Cups represents like your community, your tribe. So this is like what I was talking about before. That all you're part of a tribe that it's like, what do you mean this lifetime? We do this every lifetime. Some lifetimes we sit out and we are spirit guides for people from our soul group. But when we're down on earth, we're interacting with the soul group always. We're always in each other's lives. You, me, and other souls as well that you might even recognize because you have this familiarity and this comfortability with some people. You'll know usually when it's these past life connections because their rainbow shooting out of their butt and they're glowing in the dark. You're like, "Oh, yeah." I meet someone, I'm immediately feel comfortable, like I'm bumping into an old friend I haven't seen in a long time, right? So I like that. Why this lifetime? Why not this lifetime? It's every lifetime. The moon, yeah, deep, deep. This is one of my past life cards too. It's the subconscious where all of these, it's one of the pathways to the Akashic records where we have access to the past life emotions, past life knowledge and wisdom, past life experiences. So they're like, yeah, this is all, we're all in this together. Yep, and the Ace of Wands. Spark, 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 energy, energy, energy. Um, this particular lifetime, I feel like, like there's a theme. Usually when we have a lifetime from lifetime, there's a lot of different things we want to learn. But I feel like what they're helping you specifically with, and both are helping each other with, is the Ace of Wands, which is owning your power, realizing whatever I focus in on is what I draw in. If I focus on lack, like we talk about a lot, I know focus on lack and need. That's um, empty energy. It's lacking energy because if I feel I'm missing something, then I need something. If I don't feel if am grateful and feel full and whole, I don't need anything. I don't want anything else because I'm complete. I've got everything. So when I'm wanting and needing, then I feel empty and there's a lack there. Lack energy, when I focus on it, brings more of that lack, right? So I feel like if this is like, and then you focus on gratitude and joy and laughter, that brings things in too. If I focus on those expectations, then that sucks the life out of things. When I focus on gratitude, it grows it and amplifies it. So I feel like they're part of this interaction designed to do that in this specific lifetime, to teach that. Okay. And then why did you cross paths? You have the Eight of Wands. Again, messages from spirit. Let's see what else comes in here. You got five cards, I think. So you have the Magician. Yep. So here's that magic wand. Yeah, this is energy because they're kind of reinforcing what I just said with this, how you manage your energy and the great amount of energy that you have. The Five of Wands, the change of energy, where you're focusing your energy. The Queen of Pentacles, yeah, focusing on gratitude and abundance and fullness of life. And the Four of Wands, focusing on joy and celebration. So that's higher vibrational energy. So I do feel like a big piece of what they came into your life, and why you guys chose this in this lifetime, outside of the things that we talked about, all that is to bring a focus to where am I focusing my energy in each moment? Because whatever I am focusing on, I am growing and it is expanding. So interesting. So I like that for you. Let's see what else we have here with Z Fortune cookies. So let me just put these cards back in different spots. All right. I feel like I want to go to the Everyday Miracles for this one, the Course in Miracles energy. Wow, I love it. The past is over. It cannot touch me. It can touch me not. And then we have all your past. Let me read it this way. All your past except, let's see, all your past except its beauty is gone. Oh, okay, there we go. I was having trouble understanding that. All your past except its beauty is gone, and nothing is left but a blessing. So I love that. Also, there's this energy of helping, and I feel like you're helping them let their past go so they can also focus on the beauty and what is they're grateful for. Both of you are helping each other look at re make new choices about past emotional memories, past mental memories, energetic and physical, all this to go, I felt that way before, but now I'm going to look at it from a different perspective, a place of gratitude. And instead of having lower vibrational energy mingled in, it transmutes and transforms to higher vibrational energy. So, a lot of kind of past healing and past energies, kind of, I feel like, is a big piece of what you guys are helping each other with too. So, I like that. I did see your note too. It'd be great if I would come on live also once during the weekdays. I used to go on live every single day in the beginning, but then balance and everything else. I know it's for my YouTube channel members, but Zen Cricket's $2.99 a month, Praying Mantis is $7.99 a month, and we get together on Thursday nights. If you're interested, there's a link down in the description box for that. So, and we'll see. I don't know. I am gonna go Wednesday nights. I'll be eventually having my podcast come out, and I'll determine if I'm going to be live for that, but it won't be readings. It'll be more Q&A anyway, but we'll see. All right. So we'll circle back around here in a moment, Sudeshna, for your next, but we're going to jump to Sun and Moon first, and then we will circle back. Like I said, let me put a little space there. All right. So Sun and Moon, thank you so much for your donation. Look, it's funny. You're the man to see about this. All right. So let's take a look here, Sun and Moon. You said, what are BD's thoughts and feelings about you? When will we get the opportunity to catch up via phone and in person? All right. Extremely nosy. I have permission. I love it. Brenda Zen, PI, BZPI, right? All right. So let's do this one more time here. So first, what are BD's thoughts and feelings about you? All right, evidently that's your card. Again, flying out. So thoughts and feelings. No, that's not those. And then this one is when will we have the opportunity to catch up via phone? And then here is in person. All right, and then we'll see what else of nosiness here. Like, and then this is. Were you the one that said this is all the tea in China? I wanted to know that, and all the tea in China. All right. So let us get these organized. That one, and then this is all the diving deeper in. All right. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Wheel of Fortune. It's a great card because the Wheel of Fortune does come in telling us that everything that happens in life is indeed for us, right? And sometimes our human is like, how is that for me? But when the Wheel of Fortune comes out, says that even our human is in like alignment with, oh, I see how this is for me. So I like it. It means that you feel very fortunate that tuna for you for all this too. So what are BD's thoughts and feelings? We've got the Princess of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. So there is this opportunity, new opportunities in the outside world. So there is this energy of looking for opportunities, new opportunities in the future. I like that. Eight of Pentacles too. Again, outside world, putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears, the transformation of their world and seeing the fruition of it. Again, Pentacles energy. This is underlying energy. The Princess of Pentacles was, the main one, and then underneath, we have the these two cards. So this opportunity, they see it coming. Their thoughts and feelings are, I want to work towards this, but some things need to change. Some things need to transform in my life, and before I'm able to get to that. Yeah, let's see what this other card is underneath here. Yep, Nine of Swords. Letting some fears go, nightmare and insomnia, cutting some things. They're getting to this place. They're really exhausted in their current life, in situations, it feels, where, because the 9 is so close to the 10 of going, I've had it. I'm sick and tired of trying to please everyone. They're exhausted right now because they're getting to that point of dreaming about things, and just a lot of energy being invested in trying to, maintain and do stuff. But that's the blood, the sweat, the tears. They're figuring out, okay, yeah, this is not for me. I'm letting stuff go. They're getting to this point, like so close to letting a lot of stuff go. Which that Wheel of Fortune with the number 10 is the one of the big wheels of fate of turning. Eight of Pentacles kind of reminds me of that, even with, I like the way they interpret it with all the cycles of the moon, going around the middle, that the cycle is coming to that point. I feel like it's more, because you start off with a new moon, it's new, everything's new, and it grows, and then the full moon of fruition, and it's its biggest, and then you start looking at what you're ready to let go of, and I feel like they're getting to this place where it's the crescent moon. And the crescent moon is when it's a newer moon. This is like whatever they call it when it's the fourth quarter moon, where it's um, the light is leaving it and it's ready to become a dark moon. And so they're ready for this changes, is what I'm really trying to say with all the moon analogies. Maybe you know about the moon that, well, you are sun and moon. I imagine you know all about the moon. Duh. But I feel like that's, it's gone its full course almost. It's getting to where, you know, there's just a sliver left of light that's about to go into the void in the dark moon, and so they are getting to that point, and so thoughts and feelings around you are they're like I'm making these changes and stuff to move forward in that. So hopefully that makes sense. Maybe we'll get more of that when we dive deeper here. When will you have the opportunity to catch up via phone? Yeah, the Five of Cups. They are waiting here for some emotional changes to come in here, some transformational emotions. Um, feel like catching up on the phone. The 5 is really standing out to me. We're not in May. We're past June 5th, July 5th. We're 5 days, 5 weeks. What feels right? 5 days from now is the 20th, which is the solstice, which would be the ending of a season, the beginning of a new season. So perhaps here 5 days is, I feel like that feel 5 weeks feels like too far away for phone. So maybe next weekend, like summertime, unless you're in the southern hemisphere, then wintertime. All right. And then in person, when will you have the opportunity? Wow, Prince of Wands, Knight of Wands. That's fast moving energy. And the 10 of Wands. Wow, a lot of energy. So, the Prince and the Knight of Wands here, this 10 and 11 days. So I feel like this feels like more than 4th of July, right? Well, maybe it's even less than that. But so I just feel like it's a lot of fire, a lot of wands. It is a lot sooner than you anticipate. Um, that this will happen where you get together in person because it's so much energy, so much fastest moving in the night on fire. So I do feel kind of this energy based on current energy. I do feel, I mean, I feel around like the 4th of July weekend kind of energy where you guys do see each other in person around then. Okay. Let's see what else this stuff is here. What else is going on here, sun and moon? Here is the nosiness. Yeah, the tower. Here's the suddenness of things. Again, like the Wheel of Fortune, this is realizing that people, situations, things are removed out of our way to make space for things that are more in alignment for us, to clear things out, to go through. But it's very much like the lightning bolt. Uh, all this fire energy just really feels that sudden energy of change. You have the Seven of Swords. I like these two cards coming out together in kind of cahoots with one another because this is about making sudden changes so that it doesn't appear that there's deceit or lying or thievery or shenanigans or I'm trying to think of the words. um, Sneakiness and all that, that there's a clean break, and I don't know if there's a situation that either of you guys are in, but it's about, yeah, all of this happens, and it's like, I just need to make a decision and just be honest and strike like a lightning bolt. And so that there's no, no deceit anywhere, because that's not the way we want um, to start things. We want true honesty and openness and not hiding anything at all. So I like that kind of energy, because nothing stays hidden anyway. It's like, just speak the truth, just be honest. Everyone appreciates that, even though it stings. Um, when someone tells us something, I'd rather someone tell me, like, I'm not in love with you anymore. And um, I'd rather you be able to be with someone who loves you the way you can love, and they would appreciate that instead of pretending and cheating on behind their back, right? That's the kind of scenario that that is big for all of us, right? Like, yeah, hell no, I wouldn't want, I would want to know so that I can, uh, you know, just rip the band-aid off instead of being tortured for forever, wondering, picking up on it, and everything else. So, whatever this change is, it's, hopefully that makes sense to everything that's going on. Yeah, the 6 of Wands. So there is a beautiful victory energy that comes in here as well. So I like that. Equal passion. I like that. 3 wands on either side. And the World card too, an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. The 6 of Wands and the World card are victory cards. So it feels very, you know, abundant, victorious, and this heading into this new adventure, something free of a lot of expectations, and so I like that coming in here too. Yep, and here's the World card, the first card in the Major Arcana. World card is the last. That's the ending of all old cycles, heading into the beginning of a new adventure, and this is the beginning of a new adventure. And the Princess of Cups, Page of Cups, new love, heightened love, as well. So I do like where this is headed. It just feels like I feel like I'm like leaving a very, I don't know. That's funny how they show it in my head here is like I'm watching like Game of Thrones where people are killing each other and backstabbing each other, and there's plots within plots, and you're just like, oh, it's like war and deceit and drama, and turning that off and then switching to a comedy movie and or a love story. And it's like, oh wow, it's like, oh, I feel like I'm leaving behind chaos and going into something joyful and loving. And so hopefully that makes sense to you. But that's what I'm picking up right now. Let's see what your fortune cookie says here in a moment as well. All right. Sorry, let me just put these cards back in. There was a lot of cards. There we go. What do we want? I feel like we're being drawn to the Course in Miracles, Everyday Miracle cards. Let's see, what else do we have here? All right, this one. So you've got, I am among the ministers of God. I like those. And then we've got, it cannot, let me see, I can't read that. It cannot be that it is hard to do the task that Christ appointed you to do, since it is he who does it. I like that. And when we look at this from a Christ consciousness, it's about unconditional love. So it cannot be that it is hard to do the task that unconditional love draws us to do, since it is unconditional love that does it. And it's love, love, love. And I like that. Um, and that is kind of like this, instead of focusing on expectations and lower vibrational, kind of the chaos, I'm going to focus on joy and love. I'm going to focus on those instead of the others. And then, you know, um, that's what draws more of that to us. So hopefully that helps right now for you, Sun and Moon. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Sudeshna, we are back to you for your addition, one of your additional ones. So let me put your timestamp here. So thank you for your additional donation. Let me take a quick sip here. And Maria P, if you're watching, I did get your, I think these are yours. Hold on. Yes, I did get your 2 donations via the PayPal. So we will get to you. Let me add you into this list. So Brenda Zen does not go crazy and forget. You never know. You never know. All right. So Sudeshna, so you're very good friends. Okay. So how does he think that you feel for him? Ooh, you're getting to the nitty gritty now. Ooh. So look at that. How does he think you feel for him? No, none of those. Okay. All right. We have those. Does he know how you feel? Well, okay, let's do this right. Put these over here like this. That's how they want those. Okay. Just say if you know, do you like him or feel special about him? And how does he like your behavior and presence? Or does he think you're too clingy? Let's take a look here. All right. We will dive into those. We do have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords. Swords are our thoughts, beliefs, mindsets, communication. And it is about kind of clarity as well. And I like this regarding all of this because I feel like sorry, I'm getting like 2 messages at the same time. So I feel like they have been wanting to clarify to make sure, and I feel like their mind has been changing and transforming and going, I wasn't quite sure, but they're starting to pick up and clarity. Um, and the other piece of that is um, like you can clarify how you feel about them by changing your actions, right? And that goes again to the, you know, sharing with them. Um, you want someone to know how you feel, we share it and we can say it. But it's about facing your fear too, right? But let's take a look here. That's underlying energy. We kind of talked about that already. So how does he think you feel about him? 10 of Wands. It feels like there's a lot of energy you invest toward him here with the 10 of Wands. They do recognize you pay a lot of attention or you invest a lot of energy toward them. The Prince of Swords. Interesting that this is like the Knight of Swords. They think they feel like you think of that they're smart on that little thing. It's like you think I'm pretty intelligent, um, and that's interesting. And then the Empress card too. Um, they realize you have a lot of emotion and sensuality, and so the Empress energy is, the nurturer. She has a lot of emotion, so I feel like they do recognize here. They're thinking that I think that you do have feelings for me. You think I'm smart. You have I feel like they feel like you're attracted to them with the 10 of wands, like energetically and physically, and the emotionally with the Empress. So they're like, I think you do like me. Let's see what this others is in here because these were the clarifiers of does he have any idea? Like, is there any proof that he has? What's making him think this, right? Yeah, this schooling throughout the Hierophant, I feel like your interactions during school when you guys were going to college, I feel like there's a lot of things that they were like, I think, do you? Um, just the way you interacted and the way you wanted to sit by them or brought him food, brought him a snack. as well, that you showed caring and stuff, and that kind of made him, think, "Oh, wow. Oh, thank you." And so that was there. The full card here, there is this energy. The full card is about adventure and new beginnings and going on adventures, and, I feel like there is this. I don't know if I'm just gonna tell you what I'm seeing in my head, because it's like, if they're like, "Hey," like, if they say to a group, "Hey, does anyone wanna go to, like," you're like, "I do." You're like one of the first persons to always be willing to go do something with them, and that also kinda tells them, like, "I think they like me," kind of energy. 3 of Pentacles, and this is about you allowing them to be true to their authentic self, and they do like that. They're like, which also kind of leans them towards, like, more on the that, you feel like they're special, because I feel like you recognize things that they like about themselves, and their creativity and the way they express themselves, and I feel like they recognize that you recognize things about him, which means that you're not just like, "Oh, yeah, him." You're just like, "You're really paying attention to me because you remember things and point out things that other people are like, 'What? When did you do that?'" And you're like, "Well, back in June. Remember when he did blah, 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 blah?" And he's like, "You remember that." So I like this. And the 6 of Pentacles, this equal giving and receiving type of energy. So I like that, um, they recognize that your ability of that too. So I do feel like they do pick that up. And it's good it's reciprocal with the 6 of Pentacles. Does he like your behavior and presence? Let's see here. 10 of Cups, yeah, joy, 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 and overflowing. Yeah, definitely they like your presence here. Um, yeah, we got the 6 of Cups and the Chariot card too. Chariot card, I'm focusing more in on the Cancer sign energy under here, which is the emotional giving, and the 6 of Cups is this. Again, it reminds me of the 6 of Pentacles in your particular reading, which is like an equal giving and receiving. It's not like, um, expecting to, you need to give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, give me, and then I'll give you a little bit. You're like, more like them in the giving department. And I feel like that kind of goes back to, the person of the past that they had, was all about gimme, 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 and so I like this for you. Ace of Pentacles, do they think you're too clean? No, Ace of Pentacles is about, new opportunities in the outside world, and the Two of Swords, energy that comes in here. Um, their heart definitely doesn't feel like you're too clingy. I feel like what if you're picking up on anything, I feel like you're more picking up on, we go back to the Ten of Swords, all the expectations their old ex had of caging and expecting and all this. I feel like you might pick up on that their brain is like always aware of, well, they're going to want a bunch of stuff. Look how much they give. They're going to want from us. They're going to want even more from us because of the past. But the heart's like, no, 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 kind of energy, with that. So hopefully that makes sense with all that. But definitely there's joy, and they like who you are here. And I feel like they're just wanting to have more clarity. I think in one of your readings, at least this is what they're bringing back to me right now. We talked about it's time to start, even if it's in little ways, to start to show more and more and more and more how much you care and how special they are. We talked about the birthday party, but even just, um, sharing more, pointing out things that you do enjoy about them, and start just really sharing a little more about, I love this about you, you know, I just love that about you. I like this about you, and that gives them clarity of mind that comes in. And they're like, okay, this is what I was looking for. I wanted to make sure that I'm not crazy. Because, we've talked about how they don't want to ruin the friendship by saying something if you don't feel the same way. And so they're looking for indicators that you feel that same way. And you're looking for indicators that they feel the same way. But your fears will sometimes bypass and go, I don't wanna think wrong, so I'm looking for bigger, flashing signs, right? Right, so that's what they have for that one. We have a few more, and then we'll circle back around for your last one there, so, hang in there. Alright, let me move some of these up here, just so I make sure I'm in order here. Okay, we did that one. Okay. All right. So, Miss K, you are up. You're exactly at 56 minutes even. So, thank you so much for your donation. Thank you guys again also for all your patience in getting to your readings. I know it can take me hours to get to them sometimes. So, I'm so grateful for you guys and Miss K. So, Miss K, thank you for your donation. You want to know, why is your Taurus friend still trying to call you now? All right, let's take a look here. So why is your Taurus friend still trying to call you now? All right. Want that one, I want that one. I do want this one too. Like that. And this one. And this one. All right. Let's see what we got here. All right. Let's dig in here. Let's see what's going on in this Taurian's mind, right? We have the Ten of Swords as the underlying energy here. And Ten of Swords, that represents, like, the swords are the small t, truths rooted in fears, expectations, and all this. And the Ten of Swords is like, I'm done trying to please people, trying to, live by this is the way you're supposed to act, and these are the stories and that you're supposed to apply to things. And so there's this kind of energy of, you know what, I just don't, want to worry about all these rules and supposed to be's and should be's, and I'm done. I just want to be able to be myself and do what I want to do and say what I want to say, and etc. So I feel like, a piece of this is whatever has transpired between you guys, that where you felt there was this rift or whatever. I feel like they've rethunk things. Is that a word? Rethunk? I rethunk it. And after calming down and, after this, the energy of letting go and sitting with things, they're like, I feel like they want to communicate, and they're seeing things differently. So let's take a look here. See what else we have here. Yeah, the World card, and ending of an old cycle, the beginning of an adventure without all these expectations and rules. And it can represent a start over, a reboot. You know what? Can we just start over, and can we put all this behind us, and can we just, you know, kind of have a reboot, start over at zero, with this? Because that's the last card in the major arcana, which then starts over at the zero. Let's see what else we have here. Got the Knight of Wands. Yeah, it seemed to be like there was a reactionary energy. The Knight of Wands is the fastest moving knight, and it can be like someone who's a frying pan. Did we talk about them before? Personality of a frying pan, like heat up fast, cool off fast. And then have to eat crow because we reacted. And when we go into reaction, we go out of our minds, we do stupid, unloving, unkind things, say unkind things, stupid things. And then after we calm down and we're back to our adult self, it's like looking at a video of yourself after you got too drunk and you did stupid stuff, and you're like, "Oh, I've got, some apologies to make. I don't even remember doing this stuff," because that's what happens when we go into trigger, into fears. We literally go out of our minds and we revert back to our little two-year-old self, in a pet hissing cat, right? So I feel like that what's this other card with it here too? Yeah, yeah, so this makes sense with the Knight of Wands and the 10 of Wands. A lot of, energy, a lot of, can we say overreaction? Is that does that resonate? On their part, maybe? Um, and they're realizing it. Let's see what else we have here. We have the Ace of Cups. It's, this is love energy. And the Nine of Cups. Yeah, dreams come true. Self-love energy, dreams come true energy, emotional fulfillment. And so I do feel like they're trying to contact you to share their heart now that they're not out of their minds anymore. Let's see what else. Four of Wands, yeah, joy, celebration, kind of energy. Um, Four of Wands is also stable energy. So with all this wands, it's like I'm, energetically stable now instead of, that's there. And the 10 of Cups, all this joy, joy, joy energy. 9 and 10 of Cups, 4 of Wands is joy and celebration. Ace of Cups is emotions. So now that they're out of their head or pulled their head out of somewhere, I feel like they're wanting to talk and wanting to um, make things right, maybe a start over with all this energy that's here, if that resonates for you. Um, and we'll see what your fortune cookie says here too. Here we go. Let's see. I felt like I want to go to these affirmators cards. They can be a little sassy and saucy. I feel like that's the kind of energy we can use right now. All right, this one right here. And what do we have? See, because this is the sides of that little rabbit riding a unicorn over a rainbow. And you got divine timing. See, I love these. Pshoo. Everything is timing, and timing is everything. Gladly, I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. Yeah. So trust you know, the timing of things, understanding that, okay, everything happens on purpose for a purpose. So if they're trying to call me, I feel like spirit's encouraging you. Listen, just hear what they have to say. Because the great thing about a phone is if people are talking to you and you don't like what they're saying, there's this little button that you can push where you don't hear them anymore. All right. I'm trying to make light of a little bit of seriousness, I know. So hang in there, Miss K. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings. Thank you again for your donation. All right. And then Moonlight, you are up. Let's put your timestamp here. So thank you for your donation. And I believe you do have you have a free reading too, which I'll get to so you'll have another link in the YouTube channel member free reading area. All right. All right. So thank you for your donation. I'm putting the cards down. What am I putting the cards down for? Because I'm going to take a sip. That's why. All right. All right. You're very welcome for your readings yesterday. You're feeling so calm inside these days and lots of energy. Isn't that amazing? Feels so good. So this because you're letting go, changing things? What the guides want you to know about this? All right. Well, boom, boom. There we go. Okay. I like that. I like these. I do want this one and this one as a result. I feel like these go like this. This is a result of that. So let me just make sure I put it that way. I feel like there's one more. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So changing things, absolutely. Five of Wands energy. The volcano is no longer erupting. Woohoo! Five of Wands, Five of Wands energy is an energy of transformation and change. Fives are that change. And it's like going from being in the middle of a firestorm to being in the eye of a hurricane where the storm is raging out there and you feel like this calmness in the middle. Now this does come from you with the King of Wands, the ruler over the wand suit, and that's like the Emperor where it's because of choices that you have made because your life is a reflection of your energy. And so this is things that you have done, and definitely I feel like it has to do with letting go, because you have the Full card, which is the first card of the major arcana. It's the ending of a cycle, the beginning of an adventure. You've let expectations go. It's like a world of possibilities and letting go of a lot of different things. It's a really a big start over, especially with the King of Pentacles. This is about the outside world and interactions a lot with outside world stuff too. Because you've been doing interchange for like what feels like forever, right? I know. Sometimes it feels like I think I've been doing shadow work from the womb, but this is about changes and a reboots that you've made in the outside world that has brought this peace because you're really aware of your what you're surrounding yourself with. King of Pentacles reminds me of Taurus energy, which is the five senses. And so you're really paying attention to what you're allowing in through your eyes, in through your ears, what you're smelling, what you're tasting, what you're touching, who's touching you. And so there's this great choices and letting go and reboots that you've had with all that. What else? Got whoops, the Ten of Pentacles. Yep, relationships. Around relationships and around abundance and what it means in the outside world. You've done some great work on that. Yep, the Empress. These are two underlying energies. Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, focusing on nurturing yourself, letting your relationship with yourself be the most important, and the Queen of Cups. And tapping into your beautiful empathic gifts too. So a lot of this underlying energy with the Ten of Pentacles, you really have changed the focus and not defining yourself by the outside world, but defining yourself by you and your connection inward and upward instead of outward. So I like that. And then what else do we have here? Eight of Cups. Yeah, walking away from relationships and emotions that don't serve you anymore. Boom. And this was the one that had the result is the Seven of Pentacles, which usually could be like the last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit, which you are getting the fruit now. But this other piece of the Seven of Pentacles is realizing the fruit I was getting, I didn't want anymore, and I realized why did I want an apple orchard? Well, everyone was saying they love applesauce and apple juice and apple pie and apple fritters and just apple crisps and apples themselves. But I'm not really apples don't, float my boat. I want guacamole, and you're making this choice of now I'm getting rid of my apple orchard, and I'm bringing in, an avocado orchard so I can make, guacamole, and it's like, yeah, this changes you're making on the things that really bring you the fruit you want, not what everyone else wanted. So I like this, these choices. Yeah, and here it is, the King of Cups, a beautiful balance between head and heart. It's one of these great things that comes in here. So I do feel like, this is exactly the stuff you've been doing. And I know sometimes it's like all the labor that we put in and the patience we have, as we're making changes in our life, sometimes it feels like, is this worth it? Is it ever going to bring me any fruit of this? Is this really what's going to happen? And then boom, it happens. And we're like, holy guacamole. Here is the peace and love and silence and joy and bliss, even sometimes. And it's like all that energy too. that you feel like I'm getting like energetic. What is all this energy coming from? Well, when we realize all this energy we've been putting out into black holes that haven't been bringing anything back, when we return all that and give it to us instead of pouring it, we are like, whoa. And this is, I feel like, what's happening for you. So I love that for you, Moonlight. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie is here. So, well-deserved rewards and fruit of your labor coming in here. Yeah, I like this. Generosity, but you're giving to yourself. I give generously to those around you, no matter how much or how little I have. I know there's more than enough to go around, and that the key is to allow it to keep going around without stopping. If I stop the flow, I'm like the one person at the stadium who doesn't do the wave. I like this. So this is a good thing for all of us that are givers, and we're like, you know, I I want to continue to give and continue to help, and we can. But we transition like when we're over givers and we give out of the fear and out of fear of not being enough and being good enough that comes from our childhood. And I give and give and give because I feel like um, I define myself by how much I can give to others. And so my worth is dependent upon how much I can give from others, hoping that people will give to me. You know, when we're given from that, that is exhausting. That's all that energy going into the black hole, right? And then we move into this transition in our life where we take all that and we become selfish, where we're like, oh God, this feels uncomfortable. I'm going to give to me first. I'm going to become a chalice. I'm going to fill up and then I'm going to overflow. And then people can get the overflow. But while we're filling up, nothing's going out a whole lot to the outside world. And that kind of freaks us out a little bit because we're so used to over giving for it to go silent. That freaks other people out too. The overgiver is giving nothing. Are they okay? And you're like, I'm filling up. I'm giving it to me. And then we fill up and we're feeling so full that you are now going to feel the overflow. And it's like the intention of how we give is what changes, right? It's like before I was giving out of fear and out of my defining myself. Now I'm not really giving as much as I'm overflowing out to the world. And it's like I give without expectation because it doesn't matter. Before we were looking for thanks, we were looking for people to validate us by our giving. Now we're just like, I don't care. Here, I got you this. And they're like, oh, okay. Before we'd be like, oh my God, they didn't say thank you. They don't appreciate me. I'm worthless. Right now, we're like, here you go. We don't even stick around for the thanks. We're like, hey, I got you this. Psh. And they're like, you know, the response doesn't matter anymore. And that's the place you're flowing into. I love that for you. So hopefully that helps Moonlight. Kudos. All righty. So let me move some more of these up here. That one. Okay. All right. So Brenda Tejada, you are up next. Thank you so much, dear, for your patience and getting to your reading. Thank you for your donation. Take a sip here. A general in love and money for today and the week. All right. Have you been enjoying the moon in Aquarius the last 2 days? It just does something to our expression. It's like the Aquarius, if you're in Aquarius, when the moon is in Aquarius, it expands your Aquarius energy into your emotional world and not just our, you know, it just kind of takes over a department within our life. So your communication and how you're communicating your emotions might have changed a little bit too. All right. So let's take a look here. What do they want you to know about love and money for today? So love and money for today. And then love and money for the week. Love for the week. All right. And then money for the week. Do you want any of those? Do you want this one? This one. All right. So let's get these scooched. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Ace of Pentacles, energy of abundance, an expansive type of energy where you do have this sense of fullness, fullness with love, fullness with money and opportunities as well. We'll see what that exactly means. It doesn't mean, it doesn't have to mean anything in particular yet. So let's keep our minds open. You're like, oh yeah, new love is on the way. Well, let's just look at that. So love for today. You got the Two of Pentacles, balance, Ten of Pentacles, which is all about relationship and abundance energy too. So it's interesting here because I know when I say that, it's like, uh-oh, but it's like there's two individuals that you might be entertaining around love, and the Ten of Pentacles is about abundance and relationship, but I feel like one feels like relationship material and then the other not so much. But this is on paper. This is why this they're bringing in this. Don't make any hasty decisions on people you're interacting with today. Allow it to kind of flow out because it can be possibly that the one that looks good on paper, like, wow, you would really be like everything I'm looking for in a relationship. Sometimes when things look too good to be true, they are. But the other one that feels like, "Oh my god, I don't know. Wow, I don't know," This you end up being like, "Wow, you're real and you're true." Yeah, anyone can pretend to be something they're not, but when you look behind the curtain, you're like, "Bah!" Whereas this one, what you see is true. There's no deceit, they're just themselves. So interesting. Let's see, let's jump to love for the week since we're talking about love. You do have the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. I like that regarding love. You have the Knight of Swords. There is a lot of movement of communication around love throughout the week. So you're chatting someone up. Four of Pentacles, a good solid foundation in the outside world. A good reminder with the Four of Pentacles that relationships with people don't define who you are. They're just an expression of how you feel about yourself. And you can share your life with someone, but someone doesn't become your life. And I like that solid foundation of just putting things in perspective that, as I approach these, that they are above and beyond extras, but my foundation is here, not out there. And then the Nine of Pentacles. So I don't feel like you meet anybody physically next week because that's one of the hermit cards, staying true to yourself. Um, and by yourself. But I feel like you do end up talking with maybe these two throughout the week, but I feel like you realize because nothing escapes you, right? You're on the ball. You're able to go. Wait a minute, they're being inconsistent. I thought you said da 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 da. Oh, hmm. And you start to poke holes in the story, and then you're like, "Wait a minute, why am I able to poke holes? What is this wall?" And then you get to see them for who they really are. Whereas the other, I feel like there's a good flowy communication, and you're like, "Wow, this person is true and honest in who they are." So I like that for you. Finances, I think it was finances. Money for today. You have the Knight of Cups, following your passion. Um, let's see what this is for the week here too, because you've got the Queen of Pentacles, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, following your heart, and this makes sense because following your heart does lead you to more abundance money wise. You got the Hierophant, seeing things from a higher perspective, and the Eight of Wands. A lot of fast movement in money this next upcoming week, but it's important to with all this Knight of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, she's got cups behind the scenes too, so there's a lot of emotional energy around this abundant energy. It's like emotionally, what are you investing toward money? And it that has to do with like, am I focusing, is it lower vibrational, fear energy, want energy, need energy? That's lack energy, right? So it's like emotionally choosing, what am I grateful for? Sincerely looking, what abundance am I grateful for that I have in my life right now? What abundance am I grateful for that I've had in the past? Feel it is the important thing. Like I can picture it, but then feel how that really did, because that um, emotional energy helps expand it and amplify the, like magnetize you for drawing more of that abundance towards you. So don't focus on the lower vibration of want and need and fear of not having enough or those, but focus on the gratitude, knowing that it's the creator that cares for you and will bring things in. But we have to match the energy and be open to be able to receive that. Because if we have an energy of lack, we're not on the energy level of receiving. So we can't receive, right? We're rejecting and repelling it away instead. Right. So hopefully that helps. Let's take a look here. All right. Here's your fortune cookie. Okay. You can't make it up. And we got gratitude. Gratitude is the attitude. And we can do that towards love too. What are the things I've loved about like what are individual things I've loved about loves of the past too, right? So today I am grateful for all of the little things. Even when the big things suck, there are always plenty of little things I can be at least a little grateful for, like hot showers and music, and the fact that humans invented this thing called an internet, and I'm allowed to use it whenever I want to, using fingers and thumbs that do whatever I think them to do at any given moment. I love it. So gratitude. All right, Brenda, that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All righty. Hang in there, everybody. We're getting there. I know donations take a little longer when we get to the free readings. They'll move a little quicker too. So hang in there. All right. So Sudeshna Ghosh, we're coming back around. Oh, this one's 12222 is your timestamp for your last reading here. So thank you again for all your multiple donations today. I'm so grateful. So supportive. All right. So clarity on career question. So this is the last one that we were wondering if I got right. Okay. So if you choose to learn the technology, front end development, which has that skill number one, JavaScript, will you be able to cope up and do everything at work? All right. Will you get good opportunities in that? And how will the work life balance be in that? All right. Good questions. Let's shuffle up here. I'm going to take a sip here real quick, though. All right. So, first off, will you be able to like keep up and then do everything at your work while studying, right? Okay. So, will you be able to keep up and do everything at your work? Okay. Boom, boom. And then will you get good opportunities in that? Oh, wow. Look out. Those go underneath that. And then how will be the work-life balance with JavaScript and the front-end development, right? Okay. What's balance? That's Brenda Zen's challenge, is to stay balanced, right? So funny, King of Cups on the bottom, which is all about the balance between the head and the heart. Speaking of balance, so I feel like that's a message in itself that there is definitely balance between that with this. So let me just put these here. All right. So first of all, will you be able to keep up and do everything at your work? King of Swords. I love that. This is the master of learning So yeah, Six of Pentacles, abundance, and balance. Again, a great balancing. Normally they'll have a scale of some sort that's in here too, with this beautiful medicine balancing thing. This is kind of like scales. So I do love that for you here. They're definitely saying that you have the ability with the King of Swords because they not only rule over the mind, all kings are given a second portion of air, which means they're the master of the mind. So definitely capability being able to keep up in the studying and being able to keep up and do everything at work and balance things too. So I like that for you. Will you get good opportunities in that? You got the magician. You definitely have possibilities and capabilities here with the magician. It basically says you have everything that you need to be able to do well in it. And it's also up to your energy. Like, there are opportunities, but if I'm like, oh, I'm not good enough, and blah, blah, if I focus on our lower vibration, right, it repels it away. If I'm like, thank you, Creator, I know that I did well in this and that you're bringing me the perfect jobs for this. I'm so grateful for all these other opportunities I've had. Psh, we open up that energy to allow opportunities to come towards us. So it'll be up to you to allow the opportunities to come towards you. Um, yeah, but there will be tons of opportunities. And then they have these four underneath that. So let's find out more about these opportunities. Knight of Cups, which is movement of emotion, following your heart, letting your heart lead you in these opportunities, not the brain. Yep, the judgment card is about seeing things from a higher perspective. It's like the calling and following your heart will lead you in the direction. Four of Swords, yeah, peace of mind. I like that. And the Hanged one, too. Again, seeing things from a different perspective, a higher perspective. The Judgment card does all this, and that's the peaceful mind. So when we feel like, oh my God, I'm going to make a wrong choice, when these opportunities come up, what if I choose the wrong one? You can't. There's no wrong choice. There's just different choices with different experiences, different outcomes. And we're like, well, I want the best outcome possible. Well, the wonderful thing is that we always make the best decision in the moment with what we know, the energy we're around in our environment. And there is no wrong choice and judgment. It's like, I'm going to make a choice. I'm going to head in that direction. And then if I change my mind and my heart changes and I want to do something different, guess what? You're not a tree. You can uproot and change whatever you want to do. And there is no waste of time. It's all about learning and growth. And you learn what you do want, what you don't want. You get to explore. You learn a lot of different knowledge and stuff. So I really like that for you. Hopefully that makes sense. And then, how will the work-life balance be here? The Chariot, power of choice. I like that. It's good energy, you know, it's a balancing, but it would be up to you through your choices on the work-life balance. The Nine of Wands is, I like this because before, I'm trying not to flip you off, this Ace of Swords was back here, creating a barrier. Again, this is you stepping into your power is what keeps blocks from happening and keeps flow in your life. And the Two of Swords, again, the power of story, the power you get to decide. And again, closing your eyes and following your heart in all of this. Here's the Devil card, the ruler over the Capricorn Saturn energy, working over the house of work, and Queen of Pentacles. Yep. Abundance and flow, Mother Nature, Mother Nurture, being able to nurture yourself, and the Queen of Wands. Yeah. So I like this that, you know, you choosing to nurture yourself, and you're the one that holds the power with the Queen of Wands. So you're able to achieve this. I feel like the big thing around work-life balance around this one is that you like, they'll have a lot of opportunity to do a lot of things, and they don't expect you to do all this stuff, but if you, like, are defining yourself by your work, you might overdo it, and then your life gets out of balance, right? But if you're, like, going, "This is enough for me," it's like they're reminding me, like, when I was a supervisor and, um, in our particular, um, department that I was working in, they were very career focused, and they wanted everyone to be working towards moving up and out into other parts of the company always. It was like, we don't want people just to be here. We need a constant movement and constant filling other positions and stuff. And but there was some people like, I don't want to do that. They're like, I've got 5 kids. I come here for peace and quiet. I come here just to come in and do my job. I'm here for the insurance, health insurance, and dental and vision for my family. My money's extra. I'm mainly here for this. I don't want to go anywhere else. I'm going to do a great job for you. And they would exceed in their position and do really, really, really well, but they don't wanna go anywhere else, right? And that's okay. That's okay if that is what we wanna do, you know? It's like, you get to choose. I'm not gonna, like, bust my butt and do all these projects and everything to be because I don't wanna move that fast up or whatever, but some people wanted to, and that's okay. That's the work-life balance is you get to choose. So, hopefully that makes sense. Alright, and then let's do your final here fortune cookie for today. Alright. Alright, this is the one. You look, manifestation. Dun, da, da, da. And it says, if you could have anything you wanted, what would it be? Get specific and get greedy. You're holding a magic wand. There you go, the magician. And that's exactly what I said with the Queen of Wands. You hold the magic wand, and you can conjure up anything. Could it be that when you declare your wishes out loud, you're actually casting a spell for your dreams to come true? Or is it just that, in a very practical sense, the more people you speak with about your desires, the more folks there are who know what you want and might have the means to help you make them happen? Either way, stop waiting and start manifesting. But don't use that word if you don't want to. Don't use the word manifest, right? Create what you're wanting to create. So I love that for you. Right. So that's what they have for you, Sudeshna. So many blessings. Thank you again, all those donations that you had made. All right. And then Alice, you are up. Thank you so much for your patience in getting to your reading here. Appreciate that. And your donation, your little angel emoji. Who's that a picture of? We know it's not you. You're no angel. What are you talking about? I'm just kidding. So you want to know, does Shri think of you? Okay. All right. That's that. And then his recent thoughts and feelings for you. Okay. Do you feel like thoughts and feelings? All right. Thoughts and feelings. And any hopes of reconciliation on his end. All right. Do you want that or do you want this one? Don't want those. I do want this and this and these and that one. All right. So what's going on over there? I don't feel like they want the bottom of the deck for this one. So we're going to put these over here. And all right. So do they think of you right now? We got the Wheel of Fortune here. The tune of for me, 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 me. I know, right? I feel like they're focused more on their fortune and more on, um, you know, they're being a moron. That's funny. Um, but they are focusing on their abundance, their fullness, their life kind of energy that's here. So I feel like a big piece of everything. They're not thinking around thinking of you specifically. They're focusing on me, and that could be why they're no longer part of your life either. Otherwise, you might have really fought for them if they were thinking of you. I feel like they were very about themselves kind of energy, right? But let's see, what were their thoughts? What are their recent thoughts around you? The Eight of Wands, they do miss the passion, the fire that was between the two of you, and the Nine of Cups. So they do think here of, um, you know, the way that there was a big I feel like they're thinking about the good times with the Nine of Cups and the passionate times. And so they were here, the mind focusing more on what they enjoyed about the relationship and not so much about what they didn't, um, at least in their mind. Emotionally, yeah, Ten of Cups too, thinking about the joy that was there. Nine and Ten of Cups are big joy energies for both of those, and the Empress too, emotionally. I'm so sorry about the Empress is about the emotion, the nurturing, the amount of emotion you were able to give, which makes sense with this Ten of Cups. That it's a lot of emotion, a lot of joy. So they have been thinking, trying to focus on the good things that came from and they enjoyed in the relationship there too. Let's see here. How do they feel about reconciliation here? Hopes. They have the King of Pentacles. Here again, the ruler over the coin and abundance. Um, so on the surface, we'll look at you got six other cards that are below the surface of this. I feel like they are more of a person that I'm not going to consciously think a lot about a lot of things. I'm just going to focus on my job, my work, building a strong foundation in the outside world. I'm back to just work, 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 not think. And I feel like they're like putting a lot of hours, working a lot of hours, keeping busy, trying to create a life in the physical world. And the times that they pop in thinking about, fun times and good times and stuff. And then back to work, 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 work. So let's see here about reconciliation because I feel like they're not thinking about reconciliation. They're thinking about uh, nothing but working. But below the surface, subconsciously, the stuff that they're all pushing down below, let's get into the skinny on that. Wow. All right. Ten of Pentacles is about relationships, but again, a foundation and fullness of life. All this Pentacles, um, it's like they're really caught up in defining themselves by the outside world, right? The Justice card, trying to see things from a higher perspective, trying to balance things out. And the Knight of Wands. Again, this missing this passionate energy, right? This Eight of Wands they had before. Subconsciously, they really enjoyed the physical contact, the passion, the energetic attraction with one another. So that's a lot below the surface, is like, because I don't feel like they're in a relationship or doing anything with anyone else. They're just kind of thinking, you know, I really like relationships because of this. That's a big piece. That's a big motivator for him, right? Nine of Pentacles is a card about being by themselves. It's a hermity, and so there's a piece of them that enjoys their independence that comes in with this. The Two of Pentacles is kind of like, you know, look at the two different choices, weighing out the stuff going back and forth between the two of them. And then the Eight of Pentacles. Ultimately, I feel subconsciously what they're looking through here is they're weighing in how they feel being independent and that there are things that they enjoy about being in a relationship with you. But the Eight of Pentacles tells me that they're like ultimately going, we can't go back and do, you know, reconcile and go back to what we had before, because we can't keep doing what we always did and expect a different result. We would have to transform, and there would have to be change in order for us to reconcile. And I feel like right now they're like, all right, I'm gonna go focus back on work. They kind of feel like it would take too much work to reconcile. And they're kind of doing the cost benefit analysis, weighing everything out, and then they get tired of thinking about it, which they don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about it, but they're just like, I'm just gonna do this instead right now, because they're just like not ready to really consider it and really see if it's worth it. They're just kind of the feeling of being independent is kind of overshadowing everything else. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, let's see what your fortune cookie says here, also. I don't know. I don't feel like it's leaning that direction. I mean, I feel like they see that there's a lot of good stuff that they had in the relationship, but there is also things that they're not wanting to look at and face that would need to change before they came back in. Yeah, really looking at worthiness is something that both of you guys can do, because that's what it's about, right? When we define ourselves by a relationship, relationships are unstable. People change, people walk away, people pass away. So it's about returning to our worthiness and go, I define myself. So the more you raise your love vibration and your self-worth, the more they raise their self-love and their self-worth, then instead of the fear coming in and the expectations and all that, that suck the life out of our relationship, you become above and beyond extras for each other, not saying, my worth depends on who you are, what you're saying, what you're not saying, what you're doing, what you're not doing. My worth comes from inside me. So I am unimpacted by, you know, well, we can make it easier or harder for us to make choices about our worth, but ultimately I choose my worth. They choose their worth. And I feel like that's a big piece here. It does say, I am worthy of the ultimate happiness. I deserve and accept it. And damn it, I'm not going to feel guilty about it when I get it. Guilt is not invited to my happiness party. I won't even tell him where it is. If he asks about it, I'll be like, no, I think you're thinking of someone else. And then I'll run away very quickly. So I'm not going to feel guilt. I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have the things that I want. And I'm not going to feel guilty about moving on if I feel they can't bring me what I need in my life either, right? Ultimately, though, we're the only ones that can give us what we're looking for. Everyone else is above and beyond extra. So hopefully that helps a little bit, Alice. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. Sorry, let me just bring up a couple emails here. Okay. I think I got them both here. All right. So Maria P., you are up. And I did get both of your donations and both your emails, so we will dive into those. And then for everyone else, this will be my last donation that I have for this session right now. Let me make sure my other email here too. Okay. And so after this, we'll start the free readings. Those will go a little quicker as well. All right. So let me take a sip here, Maria, and I'm going to just glance through your note here. All right. So let's do a shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And let's see what we got here. So thank you for your dual donations here on the PayPal. So first, what are Walter's? What are their thoughts and feelings towards you today? Okay, got those. And then when you FaceTime today at the airport, boo 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 boo, and you said you love and kisses and texting when you land, what were his thoughts on that? Okay. Anything else? Nope, just that one. All right. What's going on the dark side? Okay. What's happening over yonder? I like that one too. It's like a cross. All right, and then you made it seem, since you made it official, you and him. Um, question mark, is that true? Okay, we'll find out here. And then anything that you should know. Okay, and then what's coming towards us next week and this month? I know, can you believe it? We've only got 2 weeks left in June. Zoom, zoom. Here we go, right? All right. So, I'll put these over here for now. Got all these cards. All right. So, what are Walter's thoughts and feelings towards you today? We got the moon card. So, there's a lot of deep emotion here. A lot of deep emotion here with the moon card. It's also, there's a lot below the surface here. Let's see what else we have here, too. The magician. Yeah, very energized, very a lot of attraction energy that's coming in here. It's like Ace of Wands, but a lot, and Queen of Wands. Yes, that makes sense. Very much um, this. It's emotional and it's passion energy, right? It's you know the energetic and physical attraction, the passion, um, but the moon card is a lot of emotion flowing below the surface. I don't we'll find out more here as we're going along here, but the moon card can mean a variety of things. Sometimes it's the hidden things going below the surface that, can move forward and move, further up, um, and come to the surface. So, we'll find out more here too, but overall, like, their thoughts and emotions towards you, a lot of emotion, a lot of passion, energy here. I don't feel a whole lot of, um just the thinking part of it all is where I feel like it's like they're hesitant to share everything because, again, they don't wanna hurt and, cause any 'cause they're, fearing that I don't wanna, say anything that hurts you, and so I feel like they're kind of being very careful about what they're saying. Not that they're hiding things, like hiding, but they're not being like, because they're like, "I gotta be careful," 'cause they just feel like you're in an emotional state right now, balanced, that they don't wanna screw that up, if that makes sense. Alright, so that's that. Um And then when you guys FaceTimed and did all the boo 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 doo boo doo, what were his thoughts about that? 3 of Swords. Um, I like this energy. I know it because it's the expectations equal disappointment and heartbreak, but this is his thoughts. That's why I like it here because, well, not that it's a healthy thing, but I do like a little bit of fear now and then in a relationship because it keeps people honest sometimes and, "Why don't I let you down?" Well, good. So I feel like they're and this is the thoughts. This makes sense now with the thoughts, that we were talking about because it's like, I don't wanna disappoint you, I don't like being a disappointment, and so I'm being very careful about making sure I give you what I think you need from me. And I like that, they like of course, the emotions and the energy and all that, but the thoughts, his thoughts, because 'cause we're asking about his thoughts are, "I don't wanna screw this up. I wanna make sure I'm, being very attentive to you right now, especially." So, hopefully that makes sense. What's going on the dark side? Seven of Pentacles, slow moving, last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. Of course. Got the 5 of Cups. We got that movement of emotion, lower vibrational sorrow energy that's going on there. And that's why, if they had been having a place where there's, happiness and flowers and, If they were experiencing butterflies and rainbows like up here, there wouldn't be, um it would be flourishing instead of diminishing, energy, right? And the 10 of Wands, again, a lot of burden energy there, still going on over there. Um, so pretty much a slow, painful death is what's happening there, right? Um, and then you mentioned about what he said that things haven't had since it was beneficial. Is that true, right? Let's take a look here. So we do have the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot card. Chariot card is a victory card. It is an emotional movement card, and the Wheel of Fortune is the tune of for you. So that, of course, feels like this is that they were telling you the truth, but I feel like there's this choice of words that when we say that I didn't have um we're going to call it intimacy just for the sake of YouTube, right? So I didn't have intimacy with that person since we've gotten together, right? And it's like, all right, but how do you define intimacy or the three-letter word, right? And it's like, uh-oh, it's like, well, but have you done this? Well, yeah, we did that. Well, have you done this? Have you done this? It's like, what do you consider that versus, because I feel like from the beginning, maybe they didn't go full fledged into the full act, as we could say, but it doesn't mean there hasn't been other things that aren't quite that, like first, second, third base, right? So I'm just saying, they answered you correctly in your question, but we talked about before, you have to be very careful with what the questions we ask. And the more specific we get in questions, yeah, we can feel like we're giving them put him under a lamp and interrogating them. But sometimes that's what's going to need. If you want your truth, if you want to know, then ask the questions. If you don't want to know, because I feel like they won't lie. I feel for the most part, they will answer your question and they won't embellish and tell you more than you're asking, though. That's the thing to know. All right. What else should you know? Anything else you should know? Princess of Pentacles, which is about Page of Pentacles, new opportunities, new abundance opening up in the outside world. Three of Pentacles. I feel like there is this, you know, make sure to be true to your authentic self. Be you, be true to you. Don't try to be someone you're not. If you're like, well, I'm inquisitive, I want to know, don't be like, well, I don't feel like I should. No, be yourself. You know, be true to you is this energy. And the Emperor, you get to choose. Don't um feel like you have to, listen to everyone's opinion and do what you think everyone else would want you to do or what you think you're supposed to do and should do. The Emperor, clears the throne room and goes, okay, what do I want? I'm making the plan. I'm putting action behind it. I'm not waiting for someone else to decide. Like, well, do they still want to be in a relationship? Screw that. Do you still want to be in a relationship? What do you want from a Well, what do they want from a relationship? No, screw that. What do you want from a relationship, right? Because it's all important. Because if you're shrinking and you're not living your fullest life, and it's important for you to choose what you're wanting, right? And the Seven of Swords. This is lying, deceit, cheating, whatever, blah, 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 blah. It's important to face that fear that has been there from the probably it was there before you met him and through this whole time you've been with him. There are fears that you have around that people lie and they cheat and whatever, 'cause, maybe has someone else done that in your life? Yeah, that's why it's there, right? We have these that are there, and it's important for us to face that and for you to transmute that, get to the rid of the fears of that, because what happens is if we have that running on autopilot down here in our subconscious, our it's on autopilot. It is drawing that energy toward us if it's something that's putting out a sonar. I'm afraid, because if I'm afraid people are going to cheat on me, I'm going to draw people in that cheat on me or draw in experiences to show that to me so that I can overcome this because this active charged fear that's been around for a long time um, is sending out sonar, drawing situations like that into our lives. And if we don't want that to keep mirroring and coming to us, we got to deal with it, right? Right. So that's what we have for that one. And then what's coming towards you next week and this month. So next week, you got the Four of Wands. There's joy, a joyful event, a joyful gathering, and the Six of Wands. Yeah, which is mutual passion and attraction. So there definitely is Wands energy that's coming in here. So I do feel like there is some expression of that passion. And then the rest of the week, King of Wands, more passionate energy, and the Devil card. Some truth, some shaking and rattling of some long held beliefs. So I do feel here, I feel like emotions and are a bit withheld from you. What? I know. I said emotion, not passion. You're not stupid, right? You're like, I want it too, but I feel like that this is why the Capricorn, devil card energy and the Seven of Swords is there. Because when you when you fear that you know, cheating and lying and that kind of thing, you shut down and you don't give emotionally, but you have, you still will allow your passions to flow and you can have joy and stuff, but it's like the love kind of feels it's more protected is a good way to say it. Not withheld, but feels like you're kind of protecting your heart a bit. And so it's important over this next week and month is to deal with that fear because you'll get you'll allow that to go and not define yourself by that, and you won't it won't impact you then, if that makes sense. All right. So that's for that one. Let's give you a fortune cookie real quick for that one too. I feel like we want to go into the Everyday Miracles Course in Miracles, and then we will go into your second donation. Nope, 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 nope. None of those. Let's see here. Didn't want to look because it has words on it. I don't want to do it. Ooh, okay. Okay. So love holds no grievances. Ugh, God. And it says, the holiest of all the spots on earth is where an ancient hatred has become a present love. So this is about the old grievances, the old pain, the old cheating, the old lying, the old, feeling betrayed energy. It's replacing that and looking into it and changing it into something of love instead of something of revenge or grievance. All right. Wow. All right. So that's that one. Thank you for that. And thank you for your second donation via Z PayPal. And so, what were his thoughts on your conversation today? All right. What are his thoughts on the conversation today? Okay. Got that. I do want that. I do want that. All right. And then, is he upset? And then, when you told him When I told him I'm back and I'm glad that he explained it, and you misunderstood. See, also, does he know I want you? Okay, I get you. So when you said, "All right, you know what? I'm back, and I'm glad you explained what you explained, um, and I, uh, and I misunderstood." So is he upset with all that, right? Okay. Does he know that you want him back when he's already to make that move? Okay, let's take a look here. I might not have understood that second part. I don't know if there's question marks, but I don't really understand. There's a question there, but I'm sure Spirit will bring through what you're wanting to know anyway. Because Brenda Zen doesn't need to get it. Move. Okay, and then anything else Spirit wants you to know. All right. Okay, that and then this under here. Okay. So, what were his thoughts on your conversation today? So we got the Prince of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. So there's four cards. These first two are very, I would say, fiery. Prince of Wands, fastest moving fire horse. Seven of Wands is about being true to myself, not dimming my light, not asking permission to shine. That I'm going to be me kind of energy. And the Knight of Wands is a very um, passionate individual, right? Let's see what these other two cards are here too. You've got the Four of Swords, so peace of mind, mind at rest, and the Strength card, Leo energy, more fire energy, about um, the courage and energy. So I like the courageousness. I love this feeling of I can be myself. I want to be able just to share whatever I want to share and not have to hold anything back. Um, kind of energy, and I feel like that's they want to just be able to because I feel like that's what ended up with their relationship with with his ex baby mama, right? Where he felt like they would because they are a firestorm, right? It's like they would wow, and so they like, I don't wanna have to walk on eggshells around anyone and not be able to be honest and just share everything. And so I feel like this is, important for them, and this is what they were thinking. Are they upset? No, 10 of Cups, joy, joy, and the Hermit, there's this they feel like this is good that you guys have some time with them away on a business trip with this hermit card. It's like it's good to have we have time to think um and you know but there's joy from all this as well, so I feel like he understood that you needed time to step away to think about things, but he's very joyful that you're back, of course. um and does he know that um, when he's ready to make a move that you do want him still? The Seven of Pentacles, I like this, the patience. He hopes you're patient enough because that's last thing that grows on the fruit tree is the fruit. When he's ready, I feel like he knows that you think you're ready, but I feel like that he feels that you may not be as patient, or be willing to wait as long as he needs you to wait to be able to be ready, if that makes sense. Let's see here. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, there is this fear of lack, this fear of being left behind, left out in the cold and abandoned. And the Eight of Pentacles is the blood, the sweat, the tears, that would bring the harvest eventually. Um, but I feel like this is what they understand that, yeah, you are ready, but are you willing to put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, and have the patience to do it? I feel like that's his fear, is that you won't want to wait as long as he feels he might need to be ready to make a move and ixnay everything and be able to, be independent and away from everything, right? Well, let's see what else, anything else Spirit wants you to know here. The Two of Pentacles. It's just the cycle. It is this balance. There is the two presences in their life here. And the Nine of Wands is the perseverance and the blockade at the same time. Let's see what this third card is here. The Knight of Swords. And I feel like this is important. I feel like they're saying, don't be afraid. This is Spirit's message. Anything else Spirit wants you to know? Don't be afraid to seek clarity. Because sometimes it's like, well, I don't want to ask the questions because I don't want to know the answers. But it's like, ask the questions, ask for the clarity you need. Don't feel like, oh, I'm asking for too much. No, you are a prize. You are um, worthy of having someone being totally honest, and that you not have to shrink and not be something, you know, that you think you have to be for someone else's sake. It's like, no, I get to be me. I get to, ask any question I want to ask. And you too, you can ask me anything you want to ask. I get to ask you anything I want to ask. And I want honesty. And um, because if it is, I don't want you lying to me. I don't want to have to ever lie to you. I don't want to have to shrink. And this is a great foundation. And it's like, all right, if you're ready for the truth, then I'm going to tell you the whole truth, and we'll either get through it or we won't. But it's important to have that truthfulness. And so I feel like they're like, don't don't um don't shrink back from being this Knight of Swords who is, I'm a seeker of truth and clarity. So I'm going to ask the questions, you know, without reminding of um, there's this knock knock joke. It's a German knocks on the door, knock knock, and someone goes, "Who's there?" And they're like, "Vive!" Ask the questions. Anyway, so your fortune cookie is impermanence, knowing that nothing ever lasts forever in our life, right? Life is always changing, and I drift easily through those changes, good and bad. As I drift through hard times, I can take comfort in knowing that I will leave them behind. And as I drift away from good times, I can take comfort in knowing that more will come my way. Impermanence is an equal opportunity non-entity. So realizing that nothing ever stays exactly the same in life, things are always changing here in this human perspective. We can take comfort in that, knowing that, you know, the bad things don't last forever, but also good things that leave also come back, or we come across other good things as well. So I like that. Right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your dual donations. All right. So thank you guys so much for all your patience in getting to the free readings. These will go a little faster. These are just 1 to 2 cards. We don't dive as deep, so we'll flow in there. Ooh, I just heard some thunder, I think. Let me open my window. Ooh, yep, look, some dark clouds. All right. Got a little bright still, but okay. So I've got 2 of my YouTube channel members. They'll be up first, and then I'll start the others. So Moonlight 5, you are up for your free reading. Thank you for your donations earlier. So you're actually worried, my soft heart, you're so funny. Will my decision about walking away have some I'm sorry, have the same negative effect on R as it did when I left a year ago? Yes, I did go back to him after 4 months. But you're so different than you were back then, right? Burn me once, shame on you. Burn me twice, shame on me. But there's no shame. No shame, no shame. All right, let's take a look here. So, uh, will walking away have the same effect on R as it did when you left a year ago? Okay. All right. I like this message. The 10 of Pentacles is an abundance card, a fullness, so I don't feel like it will. And the Chariot card here, power of choice card, right? Um, so think of it this way, of course, every moment that you have the choice of your story, your emotion, your energy, your actions, and you have no power over anyone else's choices. Yeah, we can make it easier or harder for someone to make a lower vibration or higher vibrational choice. But listen, you can give someone the entire world, they could still choose to be unhappy. And one of the things that really helped me in learning my power of choice and my power of no was that, mm, you know, I can choose to take someone's actions in one way, a low way. I can allow it to hurt me or I can allow it to strengthen me. I can choose to hate something or love something. And and in knowing that, like I have the power to do it, and other people seem to not be making choices, taking my choices into account, that they could also just maybe not just as easily, but they could also choose to do a completely different choice. That's their choice. That's their power. That's um, that's their opportunity. That is their choice. They could choose something different if they wanted, and it's like, yeah, I can't be held responsible for other people's choices. Because if people are trying to keep me accountable for their choices and pointing fingers at me, that is called this word manipulation. And you are no longer someone who could be manipulated. So, but I feel like they're a different person than they were back then. You're a different person than they were back then. And if they do, let's say they do, worst case scenario, what if they do? Well, they will always, you know, are you gonna put yourself in danger, put yourself and sacrifice yourself and, um, you know, choose a negative impact on your life because of their no, you get to choose for you, they get to choose for them. So, hopefully that helps a little bit, but I get it. Alright, so that's what they have for you, Moonlight. Many blessings, my dear. All right. And then Livier Vergara, you are up. So hello, hello. Good to see you. Anything that your ancestors want you to know. All right, let me take a sip here. Put that down there. All right. What do you okay, they want you to know that. Anything else your ancestors want you to know? Oh, okay. And this one too. So the first card, oh, I love it. The Magician. You hold the power over your life. This is your higher self being a conduit, bringing this beautiful love energy through you, allowing it to fill you up and flowing out to the world. And you get to express it in your own way. But whatever you focus your energy on is what grows and expands in your life, right? Um, And you've got the Four of Pentacles with the Death card. So this transformation of home. And I feel like the ancestors are like, they're showing me like all the like a world map and showing what the map of the world was way, way back then when it was just a region. And then they went and expanded and then exploring the world, exploring your possibilities. All the ancestors, they were like, we moved, we explored, we were pioneers. And and they're encouraging you here with that. Don't be afraid to go and, make a transition with the death card, the death and rebirth. Four Pentacles is home area. So I really feel this energy about you get to choose where you live. There's no wrong place, there's no right place. There's just where you're choosing to be, and you can express yourself and be anywhere. It's not going to make or break your life path by where you're living. You'll make it wherever you're wanting to live and go. But explore is a word that I'm hearing. Is take some time to investigate, and even if you can visit different areas, to do that, because you have that pioneering spirit and you will thrive in whatever area you move to. So I feel like they're kind of nudging you to do that. Excuse me as I choke on my spit. Sorry. So that's what they have for you, Livier. Many blessings to you. All right, everybody. So that was it for the YouTube channel members. Now I'm going to move into the other free readings. Let me just move them over here so I can move down these. All right. So up first we have morning. So let grab your timestamp here. So morning, a general for the upcoming week. All right, let's take a look here. Got that one and this one. So what do they want you to know here? Got the Five of Swords, the Ace of Cups here. Five of Swords is like a battle between the head and the heart, and the Ace of Cups is the heart, right? It's this beautiful happiness and joy energy. So, and I feel like there is this solution to conflicts that you have this upcoming week. And it's not so much external conflicts as it is a conflict between your head and your heart. And whenever we're like going back and forth and the mind's going, what about blah, blah, and the heart's like, but what about blah, blah, blah? And the mind's like, no, 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 no. What about blah, blah, blah? And the heart's like, what about blah, blah, blah? It's like close your eyes and open your heart and allow your heart to speak, because our mind can be a bit of a bully to our heart. And no, no, you don't want to know what they think. This is the answer. And the heart's like behind behind going, wait, wait, I have. And the mind's like, no, don't listen to them. And it's like, yeah, listen to them. This week, especially, close your eyes, open your heart, and go, heart, what do you have to say? I even have a mental picture where we go down a spiral staircase from your brain, knock on the door of your heart, and your heart opens. Well, come on in. Long time no see, because the mind's been bullying and running our life for so long that it's important to open up your mind um, and close your eyes, and then allow your heart to have it say so, because it knows the way and it will help you. All right. So that's what they have for you, morning. Many blessings to you. And then Benita Bala, you are up next. So Benita, hello. Did Shawn secretly record a video of you dancing with all your friends on Thursday night? I noticed his camera was like pointed at you. Uh-oh. Check the internet. Uh-oh. Let's take a look here. Did he secretly record you? Let's find out. Shawn. Let's see. Okay, I do want that one. I feel like they want this one that's underneath that one. Okay. The Six of Wands is like a victory. Look, it even looks like someone's taking a picture or a selfie. I feel like they did, but they deleted it with the death card here. So I feel like they recorded it, and then, after they watched it later, they realized they didn't do a good job, and it was, not good, and then so they deleted it because it was taking up so much space on their phone, and they're just like, "No," and so they deleted it. They did, but I do feel like they did. That's funny. But they just need to be a better recording artist. Alright, so that's what they have for you, Benita. Many blessings to you. Alright, and then Shawn G, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So, Shawn G, will you be able to comfortably buy the new clothing you want by September? All right. Thank you for your donations earlier, too. All right, let's take a look here. Will you be able to comfortably buy the new clothes you want by September? Comfortably purchase. Let's see here. Got the 10 of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune. Whoop, boom. Yeah, I believe you will here because, of course, Wheel of Fortune, fortunate. It's a good one. It's a 10. And the 10 of Wands can be burden or harvest, but when it's paired together with the Wheel of Fortune, it's definitely harvest, which shows that, yeah, you're going to have the abundance, the fullness, and the ability to comfortably buy the new clothing that you want for September. So I like that for you. That's what they have for you, Shawn G. Short and simple. Boom, boom, boom. Ooh, lightning. Hurry up before we get disconnected. So Nelia Medeiros, you are up next. So Nelia, your free reading. What does Dave think of you? Ooh, can you guys hear that thunder? What does Dave think of you? All right. So, of course, when we ask about what other people think of us, remember what's going on in here is a total reflection of what's going on in here, right? And so I don't see the world as it is. I don't see you as how you are. I see you as how I am when I'm looking through my humanness, right? So what he thinks of you, all right, his what he's thinking of you has been changing with the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is moving from old ways of thinking to new ways of thinking, leaving old ways behind, seeing things from a different perspective. And the Princess of Pentacles, they see you as the Princess of Pentacles. No, I'm just kidding. But it's the Page of Pentacles, new opportunities. So I do feel like because of this mental change, of this change of wave that they're looking at you, not that they thought bad of you before, but I just feel like there's gaining this clarity and things are changing, and it's going to bring a new opportunity for you in the future. I feel like that's where they're thinking about, hanging out, creating a new opportunity in the physical world to hang out and to hang out and chat or whatever. So I do feel like that is what's coming in here. What are they thinking? Interesting. Let me see here. What are they thinking? What are they thinking? I keep only just say it because they won't give me more until I say it. Like, you're different, which we know that already. Most people go, "You are different," and you're like, "I am." You're. It's like they were putting you in a box with other people. Oh, this is who you are. You're like these people. Like they have these few boxes that they kind of just people are like this, or this, and you're like this. And they're like, no, you're not. And then they're like, well, you don't, those boxes don't match either. This was the closest I thought was you, but the more I know you and the more I get you is that you have a different perspective on life. You think of things differently. You approach things differently. Well, I'm gonna put you over here. I don't have a box for you, so I'm just gonna put you over here. And I want to have an opportunity to get to know you better and to understand you more. That's kind of what I'm feeling with all that, if that makes sense. So, all right. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Ashish Balkaran, you are up. So Ashish, grab your timestamp here. You want to know when will you get married? All right, let's see what they'll tell us of that here. All right. When will you get married? All Right, I just put that in here and that changed. Came back out again. You had the Six of Swords. Whoops. So the Six of Swords is a card of we just talked about it, a card of changing of mindset. It is a little bit here around marriage as you let go of expectations, as you let go of supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's, meaning like who are they supposed to be? Who are they supposed to be in the relationship? How is the marriage and relationship supposed to form? And how are we supposed to move forward in it and go in those directions? And who am I supposed to be in the relationship? That's a lot of stuff that like slows it down. It's like anchors on a boat that slow it down, makes it very difficult for it to move toward that. The more you cut off those chains, the more fast you move towards marriage, which is also the Chariot card, which is the power of choice. That wherever you invest your mental energy, your emotional energy, your power of choice energy itself of manifestation and where's my focus and physical energy. That also, if I focus on want and need energy around, I need to get married, I want to get married, I fear I won't get married, I fear I will get married to that or whatever, that also pushes it away. It draws in lower vibration and slows things down. If I focus on gratitude for love and what I will enjoy about marriage and what I loved about relationships I've had and the higher vibrational gratitude, that's what speeds things up and brings things in sooner. I feel here based on current energies with these expectations and a lot of this stuff feels like 2026, 2027 is the when, that's the range. And it can be this year if we change that vibration, right? Because that draws in things faster. Based on current energy, though, with expectations and the fears and different things that kind of rile up, it's pushing it further away. And so you have the power to draw it more towards you by, releasing fears and thoughts and beliefs around relationships and marriage that don't serve you anymore, emotions that don't serve you anymore, energy that doesn't serve you anymore, physical things that don't serve you anymore. That'll help bring it in more for you. All right. So that's what they have for you, Ashish. So many blessings to you. All right. So let me bring the rest of these over here. I think we might be able to fit the rest of them down the page here. Let's see. Like my sound effects. All right. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. One more. And then last one will be just right there. Okay. All right, and then we have Cat Goddess. Hello, Cat Goddess. Good to see you. Whoops, that's not working. Let me try that again. All right, so Cat Goddess. You want to know what blessings and or even in general can you potentially expect this summer? All right, let's take a look here and see what are maybe two things or one thing with these cards. There's one or two cards, so we'll see what they come in here. What can you expect? Well, you got the Ace of Pentacles. We like that. And the Eight of Pentacles. So the Ace and the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is that there's something that you've been putting effort into, blood and sweat and tears, like you've just really been putting an effort in, and you've been waiting for to see the fruit of the labor of it. And so if it is relationship or it's job or it's education or working on yourself or home, whatever you've been putting a lot of energy into, waiting, knowing that I will get the results of it soon or, sometime in the future. The Eight of Pentacles is here comes the Ace of Pentacles. Here comes the fruit of your labor that's coming in here this summer. So I like it. And then also is this saying that if you want something, put the energy into it and you're going to get it. Kind of energy that comes with all that too. But it's like saying something that you've been working on quite a long time, in our minds, right? Feels like quite a while. You get the fruit of it. And then also anything else you work on during the summer, the fruit will, like as summer does, a lot of the fruit, a lot of things grow because we have storms and rain and the a lot of big growth happens during the summer. And I feel like that's what they're saying here is if you'll put the energy into those things, then you will get that get the reward from it. So it's like, what do you want to have and draw in? That's the big piece is if I'm just going, well, what's coming my way? Well, what are you planting? What are you investing energy in? If you're not, then think about what you want and you put the energy, you'll get it. So I like that. Well, that's what we have for you, cat goddess. I love cats. All right. So many blessings, my dear. Right. And then Rosalyn Crump, you are up next. So um I know you asked for this before too. It feels like if you asked, I did complete all readings this weekend. So if you had another one there on one of my other streams, whenever you asked, I do have the timestamp in pinned comments in the streams. So if you want to know more, definitely check those out. And if you have trouble finding it, let me know, and I could probably find it pretty fast because I know how I do everything. So I could probably find it pretty fast for you if you didn't see it already, or if you have trouble finding it. Let me know. Okay. All right. So a love reading. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know about love right now. What do they want you to know about love? Right. We got these two. Boom, boom. And you got the Knight of Swords and the Five of Swords. All right. So, regarding love here, the Five of Swords is like a battle between the head and the heart. And, the heart knows what it wants, and the mind is like, no, 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 no. This is what we're supposed to want because we are given a lot of supposed to be, should be's, need to be's, have to be's, must be's as we're growing up, right? All these things that a popular opinion from the world, from movies, from other relationships that we see, things we learn through watching other people go through things. And so we develop this long list of mental rules around and expectations around what should be, right? And so in a way, here's all the swords, you know, nailing the heart to the wall, going, no, nope, nope. We're caging you. You're not doing the things you want to do, heart. And that kind of bullies the heart in a way, saying, no, we got the rules around love, and you ain't gonna, do those things. So they keep them in a cage, keeps the heart in a cage, keeps them in the basement, in the cellar. But what this is, the Knight of Swords is the quest for capital T truth, seeing things from a higher perspective. And it allows us to cut away these expectations of humans that are rooted in fear, fear of not being lovable, fear of failure, fear of not being good enough. And we see things from that place of unconditional love in the higher realms. And this is what they're asking you to do around love is to question all of these beliefs I have around who someone is supposed to be, who they're supposed to be in the relationship, how the relationship is supposed to form, the intentions, how it's supposed to go and form and continue and end up, and what it's supposed to bring me and whom I'm supposed to be in the relationship. It's exhausting. This long list of contradictory, even sometimes thoughts and beliefs. But this is the freedom that comes. It cuts us those things away, and that allows us to move in a higher vibration and draw in a higher vibration love instead of one that's rooted in fear that brings a lot of fear-based, lower vibrational experiences and relationships and people. We don't want to continue to do what we've always done and get what we've always gotten. This is a freedom, and it clears things away where we can see life differently, and instead of focusing on expectations, we're allowed to focus on what we're grateful for in someone and in the relationship and who they are in the relationship, who I'm in the relationship, what it's bringing me, not focus on what it's not. Because when we have a bunch of expectations, we're focusing on, well, is it doing this? Is it doing this? No, it's not doing that. It's not doing that. It's not doing that. And the more we focus on the not of things happening in love, the more we get of the not when we learn about gratitude and letting expectations go, then we are able to enjoy it for what it is, and it expands instead of deteriorates, right? So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you right now, Ruslyn. So many blessings to you. All right. Then we have the red thread. You are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. So the red thread. Your question is, you like writing, a scribe. Would you have positive feedback and reviews publishing your stories and writing platforms? All right, very good. Based on current energies, let's take a look here. Tell us about the red thread. Okay. All right, here we go. I like it. Figured you were going to get a sword. Swords is writing, communication suit. You have the Eight of Swords, which is a movement of writing. The Two of Cups, too. Of course, you would receive positive feedback with the Two of Cups because it's emotional choice card. It's partnerships. It's a positive energy, but it's realizing that we're also going to get negative comments. We're also going to get, you know, lower vibrational because there everyone has the power of emotional choice, right? So there is that, um, possibility that we're not everyone's cup of tea. I even sometimes get negative comments. What? I know. Who would have thunk? I was surprised. You give a free reading and someone gives you a, you know, a dislike. They don't like the video, they dislike it. You're like, whoa, okay, well, that's what happens. Sometimes things we share, things in writing trigger things in people. And that's okay. That's not about us, right? And I feel like that's the big thing is they're reminding me of Sister Act 2, and that I'm seeing the picture in the film where I think two of the nuns are talking to one of the girls, and they give her a book, or maybe it's Whoopi Goldberg gives someone a book, and they're just like, you know what? Writers write, singers sing, musicians play music, um, and you are a writer. If you love writing, you are a writer, and so write, and you will get wonderful reviews when you're sharing from your heart, not trying to be something for other people, but sharing your writing as your viewpoint, as you, not trying to like be a certain type of author or writer, or oh, I need to write this way because people want this. It's like, no, write from you. You're going to get the perfect people that are going to love it. And yeah, sometimes we'll get a bad review, right? That's okay. That's not about us. This is about you being you, and the Eight of Swords is encouraging you to flow and fly high like this eagle, with writing and communicating. And I love that. You have stories to tell and stories to share. So I feel like it's highly encouraged to do that. Right. So that's what they have for you, Red Thread. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Hot Sun, you are up. So Hot Sun. You want to know, will E take actions toward me romantically? And the bottom of the deck. All right, let's see. Will E. Well, let's finish shuffling with these. It's going to be this one here. All right. Will they take actions towards you romantically? So let's see here. Let me do it this way since my arm doesn't stretch that way. We got the Queen of Swords, which is the balance between head and heart, and the Magician here. Now, bottom of the deck, since you wanted to see that, is the Three of Swords, which is expectations equal disappointment. Like the underlying energy is kind of like, no, I don't feel like they will with this, but I like this energy for you because the Queen of Swords it's one of my cards that represents a perfect compatible person, a balance between head and heart. And the Magician, um, energy, which is about someone who does take action, someone who like has everything. And the magician, because they've got all the, the table in front of them that has everything. It has the air energy and the heart energy, the, water and the passion and the physical. There's someone that's a perfect fit and a perfect glove. And you guys just are a perfect fit. And you can kind of look at it as that it's good. It's good for you that E doesn't take actions towards you romantically, because I feel like that allows you to move forward and move beyond, because there is someone else that is just that perfect fit for you, and you deserve that. You deserve to have that. Um, what else did they want you to know around this here too? Oh, because they were showing me the the example they gave me a while ago, which is like a glove. You're a five-fingered, glove. And let's say E is like a three-fingered hand. And yeah, you're a good fit for them, but two of your little um, you know, fingers on the glove are all flimsy because they're not full, because there's not the fingers to fill it, right? And so it's like, who is out there is someone, it's a five-fingered hand that fits a five-fingered glove, where they feel full and you also feel full. And I feel like with E, you're gonna feel, like, empty in parts of your life if they were moving into a romanticness with you. So I feel like that they're out there, and so I feel like that's a good thing for you. So hopefully that helps a little bit there, hot sun, but that's what they have for you right now. So many blessings to you. Right. And then Victoria Huber Ramirez, you are up. Hello, my dear Victoria. Anyone know, what does Spirit need you to know at this current time? So, what would Spirit like you to know? Spirit doesn't need you to know anything, right? That's the good thing, is like Spirit's like, this is your adventure. What do you want? What do you want to know? Where do you want to go? So I feel like they're, just your, we can ask the question and go, what would you like me to know right now, um, for my life, right? Yep, two of wands, 10 of swords. I like it. 10 of swords is about, let go of focusing on any expectations, right? The two of wands is this powerful energy. And I feel like they're just giving you awareness that, and this is like what we were talking about, whatever you focus on is what grows and expands in your life. Spirit would just like you to know that you hold the power over your life. If I focus, the 10 of swords are small t, truth rooted in fear, right? If I'm focusing on want, if I'm focusing on need, those are lack energies. Because if I'm not focusing on gratitude for what I have in this moment, and we have so much to be grateful for in this moment, that if I just focus on that, stuff just flows into our life and our life feels full. If I focus on, well, I don't think I have, so I want and I need, I get more wanting and needing. I have less in my life. That feeling of emptiness grows in my life. Same thing as if I'm focusing on a fear, and um, then I draw that thing I'm fearing to me. If I fear something will leave my life, my energy repels it out of my life. So I'm creating the life by my power of energetic choice. What am I focusing on with my mind, with my emotions, with my energy and actions, physical actions too? That all is creating the life that you're having. And so, um, gratitude is going to be a wonderful, life changing type of energy for you. So, hopefully that helps. That's, I feel like, what they'd like you to know right now, because um, you're like, what do you want to draw to your life? And we're like, I don't know. I thought I was in the back seat. And I'm like, oh, who's driving the bus? Get in the bus seat, because you're the one driving the bus, not anyone else. And you're like, what? I'm. Oh my god. So you get to take the wheel. Where do you want your life to go? And grab the wheel. Don't give it to Jesus. Jesus is like, I don't want the wheel. You drive. That's funny. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Supernova, you are up. Oh, your timestamp 24411. Wow. So you want to know, what do your spirit guides want you to know around going out and doing things because you're a bored teenager at home and it sucks and it's boring and miserable at times. Yeah, I know, right? You know what? Think it was 16 when the last time I said that I'm bored, because I told my mom, I'm bored. And she's like, oh, go clean the garage. I was never bored ever after that. So let's take a look here. What guidance does Spirit give you on what can you do with your boredom? Right. Yeah. It's emotional choice. You have the Lover's card and the Ace of Swords. So, um, so every moment we're making an emotional choice, right? And that's about our power choice, right? The power of our thinking, our story, the power of emotion, the power of our energy, the power of our physical actions. The Lover's card is I get to choose how I feel in each moment. And the Ace of Swords is exploration and clarity and seeing things from a different perspective. So I feel like they're saying here, get out, do that. They do want you have so much creativity, and you can, of course, you're creating music, you're doing all this stuff, right? But it's like, get out, use it, it's even ask spirit, um, ask your spirit guides, go on adventures, plan an adventure every day. I'm going to go walk this way. I'm going to go to this place, and I'm going to see what is waiting for me here. Let me look around. Let me journal, because they definitely are. There's no wrong choice. There's just different choices with different outcomes, different experiences. But you know, they definitely encourage you to get out um, and I feel like they're with this Ace of Swords, search for musical opportunities, people getting together, people playing jam sessions, um, taking your guitar to the park and playing. It's like get out and share things and create opportunities. This is the time for you to do this, and it's cool there, right? Right now, you're about to enter winter in down under in Australia, right? And so you're like, I can go outside without burning up. So it's like, enjoy that. Go out to find coffee houses, places, even ask people, hey, do you mind if I play my guitar here? Can I play here? Do you guys have a music night? Really get out and ask people things, and allow yourself to do it. Very, very much. It's like, um, when you're miserable enough and you're bored enough, you'll do something, but you don't have to wait till you're bored and you're gored to go do it. But I feel like it's very supported to do that. So um, look and see what's out there. And then if you can't find anything, create something, right? That's what you are. You're a creator. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Jennifer Morales. Hello, hello. So you'd like to know if Carlos misses you and his current feelings. All right, let's take a look here. Does Carlos miss you? Okay. And his current feelings. So does Carlos miss you? Well, 10 of Pentacles. It does feel like, 10 of Pentacles is my relationship and fullness of life energy. And um, I do feel like there's this feeling of like emptiness in their life. I don't feel like they're the missing someone type, like, like they'd be longing for someone and go, oh, no. But I do feel like they're like, yeah, my life does feel a bit empty, um, in places in my life. Um, their current feelings for you with the Six of Wands. they do have this, it's more passion energy, equal passion, equal, energy of attraction. It's more physical and um, energetic attraction. Um, but it doesn't, I don't feel like this emptiness in their heart. And that's probably why you know, they're not in your life anymore, probably, right? Is that they couldn't express themselves emotionally. They would express themselves through passion and intimacy and that attraction, passion energy, but not emotion, not that, right? It's more physical world and passion world, but not, mental missing communicating and missing emotion, because I felt like they had trouble communicating their emotions and expressing emotion. They were more physical and passion, right? You're like, yeah, now that you mention it, I'm not missing them either. So I feel like that's important just to know, going, yeah, I deserve to be with someone like me that does want to communicate and text and talk and share emotion, not just, half of what you want in a relationship, right? Right. So hopefully that helps, Jennifer. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Sudeshna Ghosh. Sudeshna. For your free reading, thank you for all your multiple donations this weekend. I'm so grateful. I know I'm grateful. So, you want to know here, how's going to be the upcoming time for you? All right, let's take a look here. Let's see what Spirit wants you to know about what's coming up here for you. All right, evidently that one. Oh, and that one there. There we go. Boom, boom. So let's take a look here. All right. I do like this for you. You have a little bit of alone time here with the Hermit card, taking time, but this is about connecting with spirit and, um, you know, growing that relationship with them. But you have the King of Pentacles, which is about this feeling of abundance that comes from that. So they're like, there's a little bit of hermit time, and that's cool. You know, we learn a lot about ourselves. We grow a lot around ourselves, but the King of Pentacles, it teaches us too, one of the big things the king learns in his whole journey through all the Pentacle suit is the Four of Pentacles, which is about my self-worth. Pentacle suit is about the outside world, but it's also a sense of worth. And it's a great energy because we're all taught, usually as humans, define yourself by three buckets: relationships with humans, situations, and things, right? The whole thing, though, is that the King of Pentacles learns is when he defined himself by relationships, lovers, friends, family, whatever, that he felt unstable because humans are unstable, right? Humans never stay the same. They walk away, they pass away. So when they were defining their worth by those relationships, they felt unstable. Wow. Also, when they were defining themselves by their job, work, their education, their social status, situational things they could get into. Those things never stayed the same, constantly changing, unstable. So they felt unstable, right? And then things, our bodies, our bank accounts, our possessions, the things in life, physical things, that they deteriorate. They blow up, they burn down, they're stolen, right? Unstable. So the king realized all that stuff out here is unstable in the physical world. And then they got bored of feeling that way and tired of it. And then they turned inward and upward. I'm like, oh, wow. Here's the only like um, stable thing in this realm, the eternal, never ending. That's pretty, uh, stable, right? Also, unconditional love. Eternal, unconditional love, unconditional, no conditions, nothing you have to do to earn it, nothing you have to do or nothing you can do to lose it. So the stability, and if I define my worth by the eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms, then I have stability. And then the outside world doesn't need to be stable, but the outside world turns from a place that was lacking and falling short before to something that now that I'm full and overflowing from the inside, everything on the outside world is above and beyond extra. And so it's a beautiful, time that we learn when we spend this hermiting time looking in here, our whole outside world changes. And it doesn't mean that we stop wanting the outside world, we stop needing it and it becomes above and beyond extra. So I feel like the upcoming time for you is that you are gleaning a lot, learning a lot about your inner world, and it's changing your outer world. And I love that for you. So that's what they have for you right now, Sudeshna. So many blessings to you. And thank you guys again so much for all your love and all of your support. So grateful for trusting me to connect with spirit. And I'm so blown away by all your hunger and thirst for hearing from spirit. I'm glad we have our Zen friend community here. And thank you for all the thumbs up. It does help spread the Zen love, and you're part of that love tsunami. Um, and if you haven't entered the giveaway on Tuesday, I will be drawing another winner for June. There's in the description box at the very top, there's a little video link that talks about what you need to do to get into the drawing if you haven't yet. And so I'll be drawing winners on Tuesday. So till I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of our lives, we truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you guys too. If you're interested, on Thursdays, we do get together with my YouTube channel members. There's a link down below if you're interested in becoming a member. Otherwise, I'll be back next Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time in Colorado Springs, Colorado, for new readings. So until then, have some fun. Why are we being so serious? It's a playground. Go play. Right, guys. I love you much. We'll see you soon.